Although we can't be together in person to celebrate the work of United Way's generous donors, our corporate partners, our funded agencies, our labor partners and volunteers, this video is our way that we can reflect on the highlights of 2020 and recognize the hard work and dedication of everyone who worked together to persevere and tackle our community's unignorable issues during what was an unprecedented time. Thank you to our donors, our corporate partners, their labor unions, for your continued generosity and trust in the United Way. In 2020, United Way raised over $4 million, and these donations will support local agencies in their work, building community, tackling poverty, and supporting children and their families. These funds have also allowed local agencies to prepare and pivot from the changes brought on by COVID-19 to continue to help people every day in our community. We promise that with your help, United Way will continue to tackle important issues like poverty, school readiness, homelessness, racism, mental health, and more in 2021. Thank you very much and enjoy the video.
In mid-March, the World Health Organization declared COVID-19 a global pandemic. United Way, along with all other businesses, was forced to pivot quickly. Staff was sent to work from home, the office was closed to the public, events were moved online, annual funding was redirected for agencies to use at their discretion, talks began on how agencies were going to support the vulnerable population locally, and nationally, United Way Canada was working with the federal government to establish a plan.
So during those first few weeks of the pandemic, the board and myself sort of sat down virtually now, of course, because we were in a global pandemic, and talked about what the community would be calling for the United Way to do in this situation. And what we decided is we quickly needed to mobilize, to get resources out into the community, and also to communicate to the agencies and programs we fund to let them know we're by their side. We understand they might need to pivot, to change the way they work, and be able to sort of provide programs seamlessly but in a safe way. And so it was really important that in those very early days we just communicated that the United Way was there. We were going to stand up during a time when a community needed us, and that we would reach out to our donors and our partners to be there alongside us as we stood alongside our community.
There was so much unknown in the early days of the pandemic. United Way had to reimagine new ways to fundraise, host events, and support our agencies. Virtual events became the new reality. United Way's first virtual event was our annual Women Leading the Way luncheon. This luncheon is an opportunity for women to come together to learn, network, and grow. Our Women Leading the Way luncheon had nearly 150 virtual attendees. 3 panelists, Elise Cruz, Deandra Bailey, and Andrea Howe, explored the importance of connection and community from different sectors amidst the COVID-19 pandemic, and shared their stories about relationships they built in our community to stay #United Apart. The panel was moderated by Dr. Deborah Pozaga Osborne, Vice President of University Relations for the University of Saskatchewan. United Way's annual Stuff the Bus and Kickoff Event Barbecue was also forced to cancel in 2020. Stuff the Bus collection drive enables the public to donate items including hygiene supplies, baby formula, and winter gear. In 2020, Stuff the Bus moved to a drive-through format that allowed for contactless drop-off. Thank you to those who donated. The items were later delivered to the Core Neighborhood Youth Co-op, Haven Kids House, formerly Saskatoon Crisis Nursery, International Women of Saskatoon, Saskatoon Interval House, and Switch. In 2020, the hard decision was made with Greater Saskatoon Catholic Schools, the partners of Summer Success Reading Camps, to cancel the summer program. Thankfully, our wonderful Summer Success program sponsors worked with us to redirect their donation despite the change in programming. We are grateful for their support, understanding, and dedication to supporting children in our community. Connexus Credit Union knew that although the camps were cancelled, the needs of the children didn't stop. In fact, they were greater than ever. Thank you, Connexus, for your $10,000 donation towards helping kids be all that they can be.
For Connexus and United Way, we both have a shared commitment when it comes to building stronger communities and improving the lives of those around us. And as a dedicated partner, it's really important for us to always pivot together and show up where we can show up together for our communities. And they really were the first to think differently and adapt and change to their environment. And so it really only made sense for us to shift with them and deliver together.
United Way's 211 service saw a significant increase in call volume and website searches at the height of the pandemic. The priority for the 211 team was to keep the database up to date with service and program options as business closures and restrictions were changing rapidly. Between March and December 2020, call volume increased 105% over the previous year, and website searches were up 23% over 2019's searches. The top 3 needs for services were health, addiction services, and basic needs. Clients were redirected to services or programs to best suit their needs, including being redirected to 811. Nationally, the Government of Canada established a $350 million Emergency Community Support Fund to support vulnerable people and the agencies that serve them. United Way Centraide Canada was chosen as a trusted partner to distribute financial resources where the needs were the greatest. United Way of Saskatoon and area allocated over $1.7 million in funding to support vulnerable individuals and families in central and northern Saskatchewan in 2 waves. 65 projects in 17 central and northern communities, including Saskatoon, Prince Albert, Cumberland House, Buffalo Narrows, La Loche, La Ronge, Melfort, Nipwood, Kindersley, Humboldt, and Hudson Bay received funding to support projects in their communities that had been developed or adapted in light of COVID-19.
Early on in the pandemic, United Ways from across Canada reached out to lend a helping hand to the federal government, who was trying to find a way to help local community agencies continue to provide essential services. They were sort of the front line for a lot of community needs. And I think we were pretty pleased that the federal government trusted the local United Way network right across Canada to help them help communities. And so the United Way here in Saskatoon was able to step up. We're able to provide fundings and reach out to communities actually right across central and northern Saskatchewan, and reach out to new partners, to reach out to partners we've had in the past, to be able to get that federal government assistance to communities in a fast and efficient way.
United Way of Saskatoon and area also received funding from the Government of Canada's New Horizons for Seniors program. The funds were used to tackle 2 unignorable issues: hunger and social isolation, 2 of the most pressing issues affecting seniors in our community. The agencies who received the funds were CHEP Good Food, Saskatoon Council on Aging, Jubilation Residential Centres Inc., and Central Urban Métis Federation Inc.
Well, the United Way gave our organization funds to establish the Telephone Buddy program, it's called, and also to redesign our website. And in the website, we offer a lot of different resource information for seniors. But the phone program, it is continuing. We found there's a real need for it, and it basically involves making friendly phone calls to seniors to keep them connected. Like to date, within the last year, we've actually had 236 matches, so we know that it's quite needed.
COVID-19 caused the needs in our community to grow and evolve very quickly. As a trusted community leader, United Way knew we had to step into action. To support the efforts and extra stress on community agencies in Saskatoon, United Way of Saskatoon and Area joined the Saskatoon Interagency Response Collective. The Saskatoon Interagency Response to COVID-19 is a group of more than 50 local organizations and agencies who pivoted their work to respond to the people who are most vulnerable. Funds raised through United Way's Local Love Fund were distributed through the Interagency Response Fund. Thank you to our donors who made donations to our Local Love Fund. You were pivotal in helping agencies on the front lines support their clients during such an unknown time. The rise of COVID-19 brought forward a host of issues for United Way's funded partners. These frontline workers were forced to adapt and work in new ways while keeping the physical and mental well-being of their clients up front and center. United Way recognized the extra strain on these agencies and the clients they serve. As a result, United Way allowed funding to go unrestricted, enabling agencies to use United Way dollars to best suit their immediate needs. In addition to United Way's annual funding, United Way was pleased to distribute funds from the Government of Canada's Emergency Community Support Fund and the Government of Canada's New Horizons for Seniors program, as well as contribute to the funds allocated by the Interagency Response Fund.
I've been working in this sector 15, 16 years now, and by far this was the most agile we've ever had to be. The funding's been really key, and we originally were planning a couple different projects with it throughout the year, and I think I had to email you right away and say, hey, so we can't spend the money on this because if we do, it won't be good, or like it will be a crappy product or whatever, or program. And so could we spend it on this because we could really use it? And the response back was, yeah, do whatever you have to do. This is COVID. This is your exceptional times. We trust that you're going to be able to implement it. And, it's really nice having that, because sometimes when if you email a major funder, a lot of the times it's absolutely not, and being able to have a funder that's just been like, what do you need? Let's help you meet those needs. And I think it helps that we're really a partnership-driven organization, and United Way is a very partnership-driven funder, and it's all about relationships, right? And you need to have trust, and especially during these COVID times, we need to have good relationships and trust, because if we don't, we're going to be in a bad spot, and that goes right down to the people that we serve. We wanted to be able to still offer services, and so we were still doing cultural programming in Pleasant Hill Park in a socially distanced way, but I think that was really good to do cultural activities in the park, because people really felt it was bringing the community together. And then on top of that, we were also with Choke Cherry, they were still able to operate their art services for youth in the socially distanced way. And these are youth that aren't necessarily used to being told to wear a mask or continually hand sanitizing, those types of things. And because of the relationships there, they were able to stay open, still do art projects with kids. I think it was really good for the youth in the neighborhood, because they had an outlet. To express their frustration around COVID, express their frustration around isolation.
For us, we were using funding from the United Way to hire an intake counselor, and that individual was going to be responsible for answering our office phone lines and our crisis phone lines, and doing intake interviews and people when they first contact our agency for services. We didn't have that position, and then when we reopened, our numbers initially as well were down. We're low in the early stages of the pandemic. It wasn't until the fall that those numbers picked back up again, and we thought now we can make the most benefit of an intake counselor. And so we staffed the position and hired them. Now at 80%, because we were able to save some of that money. So that's what we were able to do, because United Way just said, yes, that's fine. You can defer that money. You have a 2-year grant. You can use it when it's going to be most beneficial to you and most beneficial to survivors. So that's what we did. So we so appreciated the flexibility, because often in grants, that's not what you can do. It's like, here's the money, you have to spend it by here, that you spend it or lose it. And the United Way did not say that. They said, well, how can we be of most help to you? So that was very much appreciated.
United Way is extremely grateful to their corporate partners, their employees, and their unions who supported United Way's work through an immensely challenging year. Many workplaces shifted to working from home, and there was a sense of economic uncertainty looming. United Way thanks our donors who persevered and opened their hearts during this extraordinary time. A special thank you to our accounts for your willingness to quickly shift your pledges online, run virtual workplace campaigns, and engage employees in new ways. Your dedication to United Way means we can continue to tackle unignorable issues, including poverty, building communities, and helping children and their families. There is not a thank you big enough for your generosity. Many accounts went above and beyond in 2020, including PCL, Nutrien Allen, and United Steelworkers Local 7689. Thank you to PCL for continuing to show your local love. In 2020, PCL employees held a bake sale auction where multiple key lime pies sold for over $200 each, and they constructed a mini golf course around their office with a fee to play. These are just some of the creative ways their team raised funds to change lives in our community. Thank you, PCL. These innovative employee engagement tactics are inspiring. Nutrien Allen and United Steelworkers Local 7689 recognized early that the pandemic would present extra challenges for their workplace campaign. Management and labor worked together to plan a campaign that ensured each employee had the opportunity to learn about the United Way, our community's needs, and how their donation would make a difference. They offered both paper and online giving options, collaborated on pledge incentives while also supporting many local businesses, and ended up increasing their campaign by 30%. Their most successful campaign in the last 5 years. Thank you, Nutrien Allen and United Steelworkers Local 7689.
Each year, United Way humbly thanks their corporate partners who have reached an outstanding $1 million accumulated fundraising milestone. This amazing milestone showcases the local love these organizations, their employees, and their unions have for our community and the United Way. Thank you for building community, helping kids, and tackling poverty. Saskatchewan Blue Cross continues to shine as a dedicated United Way partner. Through their employees' generosity and support from senior leadership, their campaign has increased year over year continuously since 2004. On top of their very successful employee campaign, Blue Cross has participated as a sponsor or participant in several events, most recently becoming the title sponsor of Day of Caring in a multi-year partnership. Though 2020 presented new challenges, Saskatchewan Blue Cross rose to the occasion, hosting a virtual kickoff for their staff and offered new donor incentives. The shift to virtual engagement didn't stop Blue Cross. In 2020, Saskatchewan Blue Cross contributed over $98,000 to the United Way of Saskatoon and area, taking them over the edge to reach $1 million in lifetime contributions.
Our employees value and are really proud of the relationship that we've developed with the United Way over the years. Knowing that our organization has placed a priority and a strong and lasting commitment to supporting this partnership, and the fact that we have raised over $1 million over our lifetime is really something that we're proud of. We really want to give credit to our employees who have really embraced this partnership and all of the events that we've run to help support the United Way. So with this year being a little different, we had to move away from our traditional fowl supper and silent auction event and get a little creative. So we launched a United Way virtual donation campaign and challenged ourselves to raise over $60,000 for the event. We raised money by daily draws for submissions by video, by photo, by comment left behind by our team members to explain why they felt supporting the United Way was a really good cause. And in reaching this goal, Saskatchewan Blue Cross exceeded the milestone of $1 million contributed over the lifetime of our partnership. Our employees are thrilled to be part of this wonderful milestone.
Because of our partnership with United Way, I have had the pleasure of hearing some incredible stories from individuals who've had their lives changed. Hearing the first-hand impact of how our partnership has helped people in our local community is such an incredible initiative to be a part of.
What I love about our partnership with United Way is that our time and our money makes a local impact. It's great to work for an organization that encourages participation, And through that, we get hands-on experience in the community to see our time and our efforts make a real difference for people right here in our own backyard.
Thanks a million, Saskatchewan Blue Cross. The CRA of Saskatoon GCWCC Committee is comprised of very dedicated and passionate individuals. Each year, their mission is to raise awareness while maintaining campaign excitement, which proved to be particularly challenging in 2020. But the obstacles were no match for the CRA. They shifted to a virtual plan and forged ahead. CRA hosted a virtual campaign kickoff and wrap-up. These events were live streamed so that employees could tune in from the comfort of their own homes. They held a virtual bake sale where staff pre-ordered the items and they were delivered right to their door by the GCWCC committee members. They also sponsored a Day of Caring project with Big Brothers Big Sisters, where 14 CRA employees took time from their weekend to paint at the Big Brothers Big Sisters office. And to top it all off, CRA exceeded their campaign goal, and the campaign chair and management champion took pies in the face, and one committee member even shaved their head. Despite the obstacles thrown at them, they exceeded their goals while adding positivity and fun to a challenging environment. The campaign showed how adaptable they are and that COVID could not spoil their fun. Thanks a million, CRA.
United Way thanks our volunteer campaign cabinet for their dedication to fundraising in 2020. A big thank you to campaign cabinet chairs Hanif Hamani and Lindsay Arnott. These two dedicated and motivated individuals supported United Way through one of the toughest years in fundraising history and have graciously accepted the offer to stay on as chairs in 2021. Thank you for your early morning smiles. We look forward to another year of fundraising together, hopefully in person. "2020 was the 25th anniversary of United Way's long-standing formal partnership with the Saskatoon District Labour Council, although Labour's work with United Way began in 1959. Both nationally and locally, United Way and Labour share a love for our community through a common vision of prosperous, inclusive, diverse, and respectful communities with a wide range of social and public services that are easily accessible and of the highest quality. The Labour Community Service Awards and Dinner is one of our several joint projects. The event in 2020 featured a panel of speakers reminiscing and speaking about the history of the partnership and how it came together 25 years ago in 1995. The panel guests included Arla Gustafson, the former executive director of United Way when the partnership was formed, Mike Sheridan, past CLC Saskatchewan representative, and Sherry Benson, who was the inaugural Labour staff person in 1995 and now the current CEO of United Way of Saskatoon and area. Our local partnership is a model for many across the country. Thank you to the unions and their representatives for continuing to work alongside United Way to make our community a better place to live and work.
"2020 was a daunting year for many. The United Way of Saskatoon and area was able to reimagine, pivot, and successfully overcome the obstacles. As a trusted community leader, United Way was able to support our community in a time of great need because of the generosity of donors and the commitment and care of local community agencies and programs. Thank you for supporting the United Way. It is because of your support the United Way can continue our commitment to solving unignorable issues like poverty, racism, school readiness, affordable housing, mental health, and access to services to create long-term change. Thank you to the United Way funded agencies for being on the front lines and for caring for individuals, children, and families in need. Your work and perseverance throughout the pandemic has been truly heroic. Thank you to our corporate partners, local businesses, trade unions, and sponsors for your unwavering support in 2020. Your generosity is changing lives every day, and you're making Saskatoon a better place to live, work and to raise a family. Thank you to our volunteers for your gift of time. It is truly invaluable. Thank you to each and every individual who has supported United Way in 2020. United Way can tackle unignorable issues because of you. Every donation made to United Way is valued, and when individual acts of local love come together, people are helped, lives are changed for the better, and we all benefit by living in a more caring and loving community. As a community, we're always better when we work together. Thank you.